Ayr is a town and former Royal Burgh sitting along the west coast of Ayrshire in Scotland. It forms a part of the South Ayrshire Local Authority area, serving as the area's administrative centre. Historically, Ayr was the county town of Ayrshire until 1975. Ayr is currently the most populated settlement in Ayrshire and the south of Scotland. It is the 13th most populous locality in Scotland. The town was established in 1205 and soon developed as the central market and port along the west coast of Scotland, becoming a prominent trading port to Ireland. Oliver Cromwell also established a citadel along the south of the River Aire, the ramparts of which remain visible to this day. As the birthplace of famous Scottish poet Robert Burns, the suburb of Alloway, in the south of the town, houses his former home and the Robert Burns Experience. Across the Victorian era coal and iron remained the central export of the town, with fishing and shipping also forming a significant sector of the local economy. Ayr later developed as a holiday resort, aspects of which remain the case today with the continued presence of a Butlins holiday park to the south of the town. The Gaiety Theatre, Ayr ran various shows across the late 20th century, attracting performers from across the United Kingdom, and despite its decline throughout the 2000s, it remains in operation today. Politically, Ayr has been more conservative voting than the remainder of Scotland, being represented by a Conservative MP continuously for nearly 100 years from 1906 until 1997. The town forms part of the first Conservative seat in the Scottish Parliament which has voted Conservative since 2000. The town is now marginally contested between the Conservatives, the Scottish National Party and the Labour Party. Ayr is one of the largest retail centres along the south of Scotland and was recognised as the second healthiest town centre in the United Kingdom by the Royal Society for Public Health. Ayr has hosted the Scottish Grand National Horse Racing Steeplechase annually since 1965. The town also acts as headquarters to the Ayr Advertiser and Ayrshire Post newspapers and the West FM radio station. History. Ayr was established as a burgh by King William the Lion in 1205. It was once known as Inveraray or Inveraray. Elements of this name remains present in the Scottish Gaelic name for Ayr in Plear Ayr. Since 1261 annual fairs were held in the town. At this time the town had a recorded population of 1,500 and served as a major port on the west coast. The town was occupied by England from 1301 until 1312 as part of the Scottish Wars of Independence. On April 26, 1315, the first Parliament of Scotland was held in Ayr by Robert the Bruce at St John's Tower by the sea. Later, in 1652, the town was used as a base and fortress for some of Oliver Cromwell's men. Cromwell established a large fortress along the mouth of the River Aire and erected walls around the area just south of the river's mouth. Most of these walls remain present to this day. St John's Tower, which sat around the centre of the fortress, was originally part of a large church, yet this was knocked down during the construction of the fort, with the tower being used for military practice. It is now protected by Friends of St John's Tower residents in the Ayr Fort area, which sits atop the former site of the Citadel. A permanent military presence was established in the town with the completion of Ayr Barracks on the Citadel site in 1795. Governance. UK Parliament = Ayr forms part of the Westminster constituency of Ayr, Carrick and Cumnock. This constituency includes Carrick in South Ayrshire in addition to Doon Valley, Cumnock and New Cumnock in the south of East Ayrshire. The seat is currently held by the Scottish National Party's Corrie Wilson, who was elected as the Member of Parliament on the 7th May 2015 general election. The Ayrshire Central constituency runs north of the Ayr, Carrick and Cumnock constituency. It takes in the towns of Irvine, Killinning, Stevenson, Prestwick, Troon and rural Kyle, running into Bank. It also incorporates the Woodfield area of Newton-on-Ayr and is represented by SNP MP Philippa Whitford. In previous elections Ayr was represented in Westminster as part of the Ayr parliamentary constituency, the borders of which included elements of Prestwick, Kyle and Troon. This seat was abolished in 2005 to be replaced by the Ayrshire Central and Ayr, Carrick and Cumnock seats, which were subsequently represented by Labour, and later, SNP MPs. From the seat's creation in 1950 until the 1997 general election, Ayr was continually represented by MPs from the Conservative Party. George Younger served as Member of Parliament for the constituency for most of this period, serving as MP for Ayr from 1964 to 1997. In 1997 the boundaries of the constituency were altered in a move which saw the Conservative areas of Alloway, Doonfoot and Mason Hill being transferred to the neighbouring Carrick, Cumnock and Doon Valley constituency, benefiting the Labour Party. Prior to this, Ayr formed part of the Air Burgh constituency which combined various towns along the Ayrshire coast such as Irvine, Troon, Prestwick, Ardrossan and Saltcoats. This seat was held by the Conservatives since 1906, making Ayr the longest seat to be held by the Conservatives in Scotland at over 100 years. Scottish Parliament In the Scottish Parliament, Ayr exists as a constituency seat and has been represented by Conservative MSP John Scott since 2000. It was the first constituency in the Scottish Parliament to elect a Conservative MSP. The constituency also includes the towns of Prestwick and Troon. Regional MSPs that represent the South Scotland electoral region, and by extension represent the town of Ayr, are Claudia Beamish, Sheik Brodie, Jim Hume, Joan McAlpine, Eileen MacLeod, Graham Pearson and Paul Wheelhouse. 2007 Scottish Parliament election results for Ayr. The 2007 Scottish Parliament election was counted by electoral ward, allowing for the results for the town of Ayr to be accounted for by combining the results for the Ayr North, East and West electoral wards. The table below highlights the results of the election for the town of Ayr. These results suggest that in 2011 the results in the town of Ayr itself was marginally contested between the Conservatives and the SNP. Council elections The elected councillors representing Ayr on South Ayrshire Council are as follows. As a former Royal Burgh, Ayr had a provost as Chief Magistrate of the Burgh Council, and the earliest recorded provost is Nicholas de Finwyck. The title of provost was retained by Kyle and Carrick District Council and South Ayrshire Council for their civic heads. The role of provost is now apolitical and carries a number of duties, including chairing meetings of the council, acting as civic head representing South Ayrshire Council, promotion of South Ayrshire Council and networking with various organisations such as local businesses. A chain and robes are worn by the provost while undertaking their ceremonial duties. The provost's chain was donated in June 1897 by James McLennan, who was a Glasgow wine and spirit merchant who was born in Coylton and lived in Ayr. The official provost's robes have been provided by the council since June 11, 1923. In addition, South Ayrshire Council erects lamp posts with the Royal Burgh coat of arms emblazoned on the diffusers outside the official residence of the provost. This has been undertaken since 1854. Each newly elected provost enters their name into a Bible at the kirk in a the council service at Ayr Old Kirk after each council election. The Bible in which the names are entered was acquired by the kirk during the provostship of Hugh Miller. The names of the provosts entered into the Bible are as follows. The current provost is Labour councillor Helen Mooney. Geography: Ayr is a coastal town which lies on the mouth of the River Ayr. The river then flows out into the larger Firth of Clyde estuary. From the coast the Isle of Arran can be seen, and on a very clear day, the northern tip of Northern Ireland. It is within the region of Strathclyde. Much of the land in and around this area is very flat and low-lying, used for rearing dairy cattle. Towards the south of Ayr, however, the land is higher than most areas in the county of Ayrshire. An example of this being the Brown Carrick Hill, which is situated due south of Doonfoot. Ayr lies approximately 35 miles southwest of Glasgow. The urban area which encompasses Ayr is defined by the General Register Office for Scotland as the adjoining localities of Ayr, Prestwick and Moncton. This is the 12th largest urban area in Scotland. Location Areas of Ayr Climate. The nearest official Met Office weather station to Ayr is Auchincreeve, about 3 miles to the northeast of Ayr town centre. The area experiences very cool summers and somewhat mild winters. The air is cooler during the summer due to its proximity to the sea, as water has a major cooling effect on summer temperatures. During the winter months the reverse happens and the sea air has a major warming effect on the climate. The area rarely ever sees extremes due to the effects of sea air. Rainfall is generally plentiful throughout the year due to Atlantic weather systems sweeping in from the west. Compared with the rest of Scotland, the area rarely sees much mist and fog. This is because the land is relatively flat and low-lying, and with the wind blowing across the flatter land, this generally hinders fog from developing widely. This has made Glasgow Prestwick International Airport particularly well known as one of the less fog-prone airports in Scotland. Snowfall is rare in this part of Scotland because of the mild sea air. Economy. Air's industry has flourished over the years mainly because of the River Aire. Ships that were built on the mouth of the River Aire in the 18th century improved Air's economy. From 1883 to 1901, 143 ships and barges were built on the Aire by Samuel B. Knight and the Ailsa Shipbuilding Company. Repair work on the Aire ceased in 1960 when Ailsa moved its operations to Troon. The north side of Aire Harbour still operates as a commercial port today, mainly exporting coal, and extensive railway sidings still lead down from the main railway line near Newton-on-Ayre station. In addition, the River Aire and River Doon were used for the fishing of whitefish and salmon. These were then exported from Aire Harbour. Manufacturing of textiles such as carpets and lining was important to Aire's economy until the factories closed in the 1970s. This caused mass unemployment in Aire. Many of the old factories are still standing and can be seen on McCall's Avenue and Walker Road in Lochside, North Aire, though many are derelict and unsafe. There was a large factory engaged in the production of fertilizers and other agricultural products. This has since closed, but parts of the old complex are sublet by local businesses. Aire has always been a hub for shopping in South Scotland, with the first department store, Hourstones, opening in 1896. In the 1970s the opening of stores such as Marks and Spencer's and Aire's first shopping centre, the Kyle Centre, encouraged an expansion in the local economy. Heathfield Retail Park, an out-of-town retail park, opened in 1993 with shops such as Harfords and Homebase. Air Central Shopping Centre opened in March 2006 with shops such as Debenhams and H&M and underparking for 500 cars. In December 2014 360 Architecture received planning permission to refurbish the Kyle Centre by reinventing it as a centre of leisure through the creation of a new cinema complex among other new features. As of 2014 Royal Society for Public Health found Aire's High Street to be the second healthiest in the United Kingdom behind Shrewsbury. During the 19th and 20th centuries Aire became a popular holiday resort. This was due to its fine sandy beach, and its popularity was increased by the building of the rail link to Glasgow in 1840. Transport. Aire has three main roads serving the town: A79, a Euro main road running through Aire and linking Aire with Prestwick and its airport. A77, a Euro Aire bypass stretching from Glasgow to Stranraer. It was built in 1971. A70, a Euro running from Aire to Edinburgh. Aire railway station has services to Glasgow Central Station with a half-hourly service except on Sundays. There are regular services to Edinburgh Waverley, Stranraer, Girvan, Kilmarnock, Dumfries, Carlisle and Newcastle. These services are operated by SPT Abellio ScotRail. The railway station provides rail and sea connections via Stranraer for the connecting bus to Cairnryan for either the Stayner Line ferry service to the Port of Belfast or the P&O ferries service to Larne Harbour connecting with Northern Ireland Railways via Carrick Figures and Jordantown to Belfast Central and Belfast Great Victoria Street. There is also the connection via Troon on P&O ferries on a seasonal basis to Larne Harbour. The town has air links to European cities from Glasgow Prestwick International Airport just 2 miles north from Aire and is served by Glasgow Prestwick Airport Station. Further destinations are available from Glasgow Airport, which is accessible by train to Paisley Gilmour Street for the connecting bus to the airport. In relation to Aire, Glasgow Airport is 35 miles away. The town also has bus connections serving all of the town and Prestwick. These services are operated by Stagecoach West Scotland. The town has 8 local services. There are express coaches to Glasgow Buchanan Street every €30 60 minutes. Ulster Bus operate bus services to Belfast via Stranraer ferry service on Stannard Line. Although the town does not have any ferry services from its harbour, it has good access to ferry services mainly to Northern Ireland. Troon, 5 miles north of Ayr, has a seasonal service to Larnboard P&O. Troon can also be reached by train with trains every 30 minutes, or by bus. Stranraer, now Cairnryan 60 miles south of Ayr, has up to 8 daily departures to Belfast. Religion. The Church of Scotland is the main denomination in Ayr with 9 churches spread throughout the town. The Roman Catholic Church has 2 churches and a cathedral, previously located at the Good Shepherd Cathedral which has been demolished. There is also a Baptist church and Evangelical church in John Street, a Latter-day Saints church at Orchard Avenue and the Southside Christian Fellowship in Ayr Town Hall. Ayr is also home to 2 Orange Lodges. Demography. At the United Kingdom Census 2001, Ayr had a population of 46,431, a fall of -3.2% on 1991. Mid-2008 population estimates place the total resident population at 46,070, making Ayr the 12th largest urban area in Scotland. The 2011 census has shown that Euro unregistered trademark S population has grown by around 0.9% since the 2001 census. This surpassed the population growth of Ayr and Prestwick, which only grew by 0.63%, which fell short of the national population growth of Scotland of 4.61%. In 2001, nearly 0.36% people in the town could speak Scottish Gaelic. This fell to 0.34% in 2011. South Ayrshire Council provides no educational support for the language. Education. Nursery schools. Ayr has 2 nursery schools, Cherry Tree Nursery, Wollaston Nursery. There are also several partnership centres and nursery classes held within primary schools within Ayr. Primary schools. Ayr is served by 15 primary schools, Alloway Primary School, Bank Primary School, Brayhead Primary School, Dalmilling Primary School, Doonfoot Primary School, Fowreal Primary School, Good Shepherd Primary School, Grammar Primary School, Heathfield Primary School, Holmeston Primary School, Kincaidstone Primary School, Newton Primary School, St John's Primary School, Whitletts Primary School, St Anne's Primary School. Special needs schools. Ayr has 1 special needs school, South Craig Campus. Secondary schools. Ayr is served by 4 secondary schools, Ayr Academy, Belmont Academy, Kyle Academy, Queen Margaret Academy. Prestwick Academy is located within the neighbouring town of Prestwick and provides education to pupils who are resident within Ayr but fall within its catchment area. Mainham Academy was a former secondary school located within Ayr and was closed due to safety concerns. Independent schools. Ayr is served by 1 independent school that provides both primary and secondary education, Wellington School. Further education. Ayr has 4 further education establishments, Ayrshire College, University of the West of Scotland, Scotland's Rural College, Adult Learning Centre. Culture and community. Ayr is home to the Gaiety Theatre. Built in 1902, reconstructed after a fire in 1904, its 4-section aid remodelled in 1935, and further reinstated after a fire in 1955. In 1995, an annex was constructed, including a new cafe, copyright, box office, dressing rooms and studio space. After a faltering start, which saw several years as a cinema after WWI, the theatre was bought by Ben Popplewell, from Bradford, who already had a track record of success running the Pavilion Theatre on Ayr seafront. For 50 years the Popplewell family ran the theatre latterly as part of the Glasgow Pavilion business. During this time the Gaiety developed a reputation as a variety theatre with a summer variety show the Gaiety Whirl, which ran for 26 weeks at its height. Many Scottish and UK stars appeared regularly on its stage, and several started their careers there. The programme offered more than a summer show, however, with several weeks of Shakespeare and regular transfers from Glasgow's Citizens Theatre, being part of a varied offer. After 70 years in private ownership, the local council acquired the Gaiety Theatre freehold in 1974. It then operated as a municipal theatre under direct local authority management. After many years of successful operation, the theatre began to lose audiences and the council felt the revenue subsidy it provided and the requirement for capital investment required a new approach. In January 2009 the theatre closed, leaving Ayr without a theatre. The closure was met with considerable opposition and dismay among many Ayr residents, particularly since it appeared that the required capital and revenue investment to reopen the theatre would not be available. A public meeting attracted over 400 attendees. The future of the theatre was a key issue in the local press. Many Scottish performers expressed their dismay and there was extensive discussion on social media. In early 2009 South Ayrshire Council invited tenders to take on the theatre management. The Air Gaiety Partnership, a charity formed for the purpose in summer 2009, secured preferred bidder status. Just over 3 years later, having secured financial backing from the council and Scottish Government, as well as from local fundraising, AGP took on a 99-year lease of the theatre. To the north of Ayr is the adjoining town of Prestwick, which is famous for its golf and its aviation industry thanks to the presence of Glasgow Prestwick International Airport. Only 5 miles north of Ayr is Troon, also famous for its golf and for hosting the Open Championship. Ayr has 3 golf courses in Bellisle, Heathfield and Dalmilling, as well as a private one called St Cuthbert's. Ayr hosted the National Masquerade in 1973. The suburb of Alloway is also known for its associations with the poet Robert Burns. To the south of Ayr is Craigbtara, a haven holiday park, and the fishing village of Dunure, where there is a ruined castle formerly owned by the Kennedy family. Ayr has 3 libraries plus a mobile library. These are, Alloway Library, Carnegie Library, Real Library. The radio station West FM is based in Ayr and broadcasts on 96.7 fathoms. West FM is the main broadcaster in the Ayrshire area. Furthermore, the Ayrshire Post and Ayr Advertiser newspapers are based in Ayr. The Ayr Advertiser is Scotland's oldest weekly newspaper. Sport =horse racing =. Ayr Racecourse is a well-known racecourse in Scotland and hosts both national hunt and flat racing. It has the largest capacity in Scotland for horse racing. Notable events include the Scottish Grand National and Ayr Gold Cup as well as several night meetings. It was recently put up for sale by the owners and included the Western House Hotel as part of the potential sale. Football =. Ayr has a senior football team, Ayr United FC, who play at Somerset Park in Division 2. They reached the final of the 2001 Euro 02 Scottish League Cup competition. The club was formed in 1910 with a merger of Ayr FC and Ayr Parkhouse FC. Whitlets Victoria FC are a junior side from the Whitlets area of Ayr. Ice hockey =. The town has a strong history of ice hockey up to professional standard but no longer hosts a professional ice hockey team. The most recent professional team were the Ayr Scottish Eagles, who played in the British Super League between 1996 and 2002 based at the Central Marina. During this time they have success, most famously their Grand Slam season in 1997, a Euro 98 winning all 4 titles available and becoming British champions. The following seasons seen them compete in the European Hockey League with famous victories home and away to Russian champions AK Bars Kazan. Eagles finished 3rd in a group also containing clubs from Germany and Czech Republic. The Centrum closed in 2003 and was demolished in 2009 to make way to a Sainsbury supermarket. Rugby =. Ayr's rugby union team, Ayr RFC, play at Millbrae and are reigning Scottish Cup champions and Scottish Premiership champions 2012/2013, and won the 2008/09 Scottish Hydro Premiership. Ayr RFC have twice competed in the British and Irish Cup involving clubs from Scotland, England, Wales and Ireland. A rugby league team, Ayr Knights ARLFC, play at Auchincloeve. Cricket =. Ayr Cricket Club play at Campus Doon, and occasionally act as host for Scotland matches. Other sports =. Ayr Curling Club play at the curling rink in Limekiln Road and Ayr's cricket team plays in Cambus Doon, Burns Wicket. Ayr only has one leisure centre, this being the Citadel, which opened in 1997, located at the mouth of the River Ayr and at the seafront at the South Harbour area. Its facilities include a main hall measuring 34 ma, 27 m. This hall can accommodate various sports including five-a-side football, basketball, volleyball, netball, indoor hockey, indoor cricket practice, badminton and short tennis. As well as individual sports, sporting events and competitions, the hall has hosted exhibitions, concerts, trade fairs, election counts and awards ceremonies. The Citadel is an expansion of the Ayr swimming pool, which opened in 1972. The Citadel features a dance studio approximately 124 m². It is predominantly used for dance or exercise classes but also accommodates martial arts groups and drama workshops and two glass-backed squash courts. The Citadel Leisure Centre in Ayr is home to South Ayrshire Volleyball Club as well as being the town's only public swimming pool and diving pool. The leisure centre has squash courts, a gymnasium, dance studio, cafeteria and adjacent salons and youth club. An Ayrshire basketball team, the Troon Tornadoes, play their National League matches at the Citadel, despite not being an Ayr team. Additionally, Ayr has a Strathclyde League basketball team, Ayr Storm. Ayr is also home to Scottish bowling. The Greens at Northfield host the Bowls Scotland and SYBA finals each year as well as the Hamilton Trophy final. Both the Ladies and Gents World Championships have been held at the Northfield complex as have international series in the Atlantic Rim Championships. Erendor Bowling Green is the oldest existing indoor bowling stadium in the world. Speedway was staged at Dam Park in 1937, when two meetings, organised by Morris and Roland Stobbart from Cumbria took place, featuring riders who raced in the north of England, at venues such as Workington and Hyde Road in Manchester. Ayr has a sandy beach with an esplanade. This is very popular with joggers and day trippers. Whitlet's Activity Centre also serves the town of Ayr. It has an 11-a-side outdoor soccer pitch and an indoor 5-a-side football pitch. Near Whitlet's Activity Centre there is also a 5-a-side football complex called Pro Soccer. Public services, the NHS Ayrshire and Arran Health Board serve South, East and North Ayrshire. A part of Ayrshire and Arran's departmental headquarters is located in Ayr. Ayr is also the regional headquarters of the Scottish Ambulance Service for South West Scotland that is located in Heathfield, next to the site of the old Heathfield Hospital. Ayr previously had 4 hospitals, Heathfield Hospital, Sayrfield Hospital, Ayr County and Ailsa Hospital. Ayr Hospital was built in 1993 which replaced all but Ailsa Hospital which is still open. Currently, 3 active hospitals lie adjacent to Ayr running along the A713 towards Hollybush in East Ayrshire. These are, University Hospital Ayr, Ailsa Hospital, the Abbey Carrick Glen Hospital. Hollybush House on the outskirts of Ayr is used by a charity for the mental health welfare of ex-members of the UK Armed Forces. Ayr has 2 community centres, these are, Heathfield Community Centre, Lochside Community Centre. Notable people: William D. Brackenridge, born in Ayr, botanist, Robert Burns, Scotland's national bard, poet and writer of songs. Born in Alloway, Gavin Gordon, composer and singer, Sheikh Abdul Qadir as Sufi, born 1930 as Ian Dallas, Ricky Chamberlain, actor, William Dalrymple, minister and moderator, Sidney Devine, singer, Drew Galloway, professional wrestler, Kirsty Hume, model and face of Chanel, William McClure, born in Ayr, noted geologist, drew the first geological map of the United States and was a president of the American Geological Society, Brenna Martin, skip of the Olympic gold curling team, John Loudon McAdam, inventor of tar macadam road surface, Alan McInally, former footballer and now TV pundit, Thomas McIlwraith, 19th-century Premier of Queensland, Australia, Lee Mackenzie. BBC Formula One pit lane reporter, Glenn Michael, children's TV presenter, cartoon cavalcade, often attends Ayr United matches, Stuart Murdoch, singer-songwriter, Belle and Sebastian, Sir David Murray, former Rangers FC chairman, Simon Neil, guitarist and lead singer of Biffy Clyro. Neil Oliver, BBC presenter of Coast and A History of Scotland, Alan Reid, MP for the Liberal Democrats, Craig Burley, former footballer and now TV pundit, Mike Scott, lead singer-songwriter of the Waterboys, Sir John Wallace of Craigie, Sheriff of Ayr and hero of the Battle of Sark. Twin towns, Ayr is twinned with Saint-Germain-en-Laye, France since 1984. References. Further reading, Close, Our Era History and Celebration, Kennedy, R. and J. Old Ayr, Love, The Ayr Past and Present, Love, The Ayr Stories, Love, D. Pictorial History of Ayr, Reed, D. and Andrew K. Ayr Remembered, Carmichael, D. Ayr United Football Club, Young, A. and Reed, D. T. Ayr As It Was, and As It Is Now. Lake Publishing, ISBN 9781840335644. External links, commentary and video on the Barony of Montgomery Eston in the Ayr Citadel. South Ayrshire Council, engraving of a view of Ayr by James Fitteler in the digitised copy of Scotia Depicta, or the Antiquities, Castles, Public Buildings, Noblemen and Gentlemen's Seats, Cities, Towns and Picturesque Scenery of Scotland, 1804 at National Library of Scotland, a collection of historic maps of Ayr from the 1690s onward at National Library of Scotland, engraving of Ayr in 1693 by John Slezer at National Library of Scotland.